Lecture 2. The noun in Latin language, or substantivum, as noun is called in Latin. Well, you remember that noun names an object or a phenomenon. For example, hand, in Latin that's mano, head, in Latin that's caput, or maybe shoulder, in Latin that's brachum, etc. We can compare Latin grammar with English, Russian, or Hindi grammar, and let's check it all up, right? English grammar has no gender. There are just two cases, nominative and possessive, and there are no declensions in English. Latin grammar is a bit more complex. There are 3 genders, there are 6 cases, and there are 5 declensions. Don't be afraid, we'll master it in no time because we have some patterns that will help you. Russian and Latin grammar have similar categories. For example, both Russian and Latin grammar have gender, cases, declension, and number. As I recall, Hindi has 2 genders. It has also cases, declension, and number. So it won't be too difficult for you to master Latin grammar because there are a lot of similarities. Let's talk about every category one by one. And the first category is gender. There are 3 genders in Latin language. Genus masculinum, masculine, genus femininum, feminine, genus neutrum, neuter. The gender of Russian word and the corresponding Latin one may coincide but may differ. For example, let's look on the word articulatio. It's femininum in Latin, but in Russian it's masculine. So stop. The word brachium is neuter in Latin as in Russian. It depends on the ending of the word. For example, the ending "a" is for feminine, as in the word costa. The next category is numerus or number. There are 2 numbers in Latin language, singular and plural, singularis, pluralis. For example, caput, head, capita, heads, or musculus, muscle, musculi, muscles. The next grammatical category is case or casus in Latin. Words can change their number and case form. So, there are 6 cases in Latin: nominativus, genitivus. Nominativus is nominative, genitivus is genitive, dativus, dative, accusativus, accusative, ablativus, instrumental. We can't find the analogy in Russian language. Vocativus is usually used to call someone. I believe that there was vocativus in Sanskrit, and I don't remember if there was anything like that in Hindi. So you can tell me. Alright. So in anatomical terminology, nominativus and genitivus are mainly used to form something. For example, arcus vertebrae. Arcus is nominativus, vertebrae is genitivus, and it can be translated as the arc of the vertebrae. The next thing we have to understand is about noun stem. So, firstly, the grammatical stem is the part of a noun common to all or most cases. And the stem is the thing we add ending to. So we form K form with the ending that we add to noun stem. The grammatical stem has no lexical meaning and cannot be translated exactly. Its function is just to derive a grammatical form using and inflection. Okay? For example, nominativus singularis, salmon, the grain. Genitivus singularis, semini, the ending is I, the stem is semin, and we will add the ending to that stem. Nominativus pluralis, semina, grains, the stem semin and the ending a. Seminum, of the grains. So the stem and the ending. The stem is the same. It is not changed, as we see. We have to understand all these things to see how a noun is represented in a dictionary. For example, brachium, brachi, neutrum. Brachium is the nominative singular form, the form of nominativus singularis, and it shows all the semantics for translation. E is the ending of the genitive singular. It shows a grammatical meaning. The last letter N stands for neuter. It is the gender of the word genus, and it will help you to choose the correct form of an adjective later when we will learn adjective. So we have to correspond the noun and the adjective using gender correctly. So you have to remember the whole form from dictionary. Brachium, brachi, neutrum. So you see, nominative, genitive form, and gender all are in the dictionary, and you will learn dictionary form of the words. We have to tell you that the dictionary entry of the word of the third declension is a bit different. For example, apec, apices, masculinum. You see the nominative form apec, but the genitive form shows the change of the grammatical stem. Apic, apec, apices. So it changes to C and A changes to E. Apex, apices. And the stem is not apex but apic. Okay, words of the third declension are the most difficult, and we will study them more closely a bit later. The next category is declension. There are two definitions of the declension, and firstly, it is the fact of changing the case and number of words. The second meaning is that a group of words within case and number forms according to the same pattern. For example, the words brachium, the shoulder, and cranium, the skull, have the same ending in English. Therefore, they will use the same pattern to form the forms of plural, for example, etc. There are, all in all, 5 declensions in Latin language. And we can identify them through the genitive singular form. So, look at this scheme. There are all the declensions here. First declension, look here, in nominative singular form has the ending a, are in Latin, and in genitive singular it has a. For example, costa, coste. The first declension has only feminine gender. You see the letter F. You see that the second declension has masculine and neuter gender. In nominative singular, masculine gender of the second declension has the ending U and R. For example, muscle, musculus. Neuter in nominative singular has the ending cranium, for example. Gender singular, genitive singular for the second declension is the ending E. For example, musculus musculi of the muscle, cranium cranii of the skull. The third declension is a bit more difficult. It has all three genders. We will learn to distinguish them a bit later, okay? And there can be different endings in nominative singular. Io, X, S, etc. But in the genitive singular, there is always is, as you see. I have to tell you that the third declension has three different stems. Consonant stem, in perisyllabic noun. They have different number of syllables in nominative and genitive singular. For example, foramen, foramini, 3 and 4 syllables. Pure E stem, they are neuter nouns with a nominative endings E, al, R. For example, rete, the net. There are also adjectives in this group. Adjectives of the second group, we'll learn them later, like vertebrale. And the third type of the stem is mixed stem, nouns with a stem ending in 2 or 3 consonants, os or cis. Genitive stem has os, 2s in it. Those are perisyllabic nouns with a nominative ending is. Naris, naris, also here. Auris, auris, the E, for example. So we have a practical exercise for you. Look at the word. You can stop the video and think a bit. Define the type of the stem. I can tell you that won't be easy, but just give it a go and think of it. You can check the answers on the next slide. This presentation is already in your folder, in the Latin homework folder, okay? So you can just open it and read it a little bit slower, more carefully, etc. Just do the exercise orally and check the answers. They are here on the next slide. And we have to return to our declension. Look at the fourth declension. There are masculine and neuter nouns here. Masculine nouns of the fourth declension have the nominative singular ending U, and the genitive singular ending also us. For example, the ark, arcus, of the ark, arcus, the same. That's easy, right? And neuter noun of the fourth declension have the ending U in nominative singular and the same ending U in genitive singular. For example, cornu, cornus, the horn. The fifth declension for you will have only the word facie, fatiae. feminine noun it is. So as you see, you can determine the gender of a noun from nominative and genitive singular. Look at the scheme and you'll see that masculine nouns mostly have the ending us. Us is the nominative singular ending, e is the genitive singular. And us. For example, musculus, musculi, masculinum, muscle. Gustus, gustus, masculinum, taste. There are some feminine feminine ending like a, io, ione, costa, coste, femininum, rib, articulatio, articulazione, femininum, joint. Other endings are adjective, like us eris, us oris, I, ma atis, on I, and ini, u. For example, glomus glomeris, tempus temporis, hypogastrium hypogastri, systema systematis, pharmacon pharmaci, pecten pectini, genu geno. You can see the translation of those examples on the slide. We have to understand that the word with the ending on and the ending e, like acromion, acromi neutrum, encephalon, encephalon neutrum, or rape, rape femininum, have Greek origin. So, another practice, please define the gender of the following words using this scheme on the previous slide. Right, you can do that. And then you can check yourself because the answers are on the next slide. But please, we can't check that, so just do the test for yourself and only then check, alright? The last thing we have to talk about is marker name. There are two types of naming marker. First is marker name with an adjective. The word musculus stands for marker and adjective. For example, musculus palmaris longo, long palmar muscle. The second type is muscle name according to function. When the name of a muscle indicates its function, the term in Latin is built differently. Medical English borrowed whole Latin phrases to designate muscle. Latin musculus depressor septinazi and compared with English the depressor septinazi. So we will try to clarify the meaning of these anatomical phrases to make them understandable. So to make it easier to memorize maybe. First, here comes the word musculus, muscle. Even if it is omitted, it is still implied. We have to use it. It's obligatory. For example, we can't just say pronator. We have to say musculus pronator. Alright? And the second is the muscle function to be indicated as a verbal noun of the third declension ending in or, which names the work that muscle does. The third word is the object of action, always in genitivus or genitive. So let's see. Musculus levator scapulae. You see it on the picture. On the fourth place, usually are all the adjectives given, and they always follow the word of the basic term. Muscle, the function, object, and only then we use adjective. I hope the structure of the term is understandable. Muscle, function, object, right? So you see it on the picture, you understand what it is. Okay. So, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can ask us on the platform in the personal messages.